Hey guys, it's Tacho, and today I just wanted to talk a little bit about the FEH Pass. I was gone before the FEH Pass was announced, so I didn't really get a chance to talk about it. But I did end up getting the FEH Pass the day before Resplendent Lyn went away, so I was able to get her. And I have been using the FEH Pass for a good couple of weeks now, so I feel like I've got a pretty good grasp on whether or not the FEH Pass is actually worth getting, and we're going to just discuss that today. So let's head over to the shop and go to the orbs section. The FEH Pass for me costs $10 roughly on US currency. I believe that's going to change depending on your location and your currency. But for argument's sake, let's just say the FEH Pass is 10 bucks. And the closest orb pack to that in price is the 23 orb pack at $12.99. So if you were to buy orbs instead of buying the FEH Pass, you would get 23 orbs out of the actual orb shop. So let's go over to the mission rewards and take a look at the FEH Pass rewards. So for having the FEH Pass, you're getting 5 orbs, you're getting 120 divine codes, 35 divine dew, 50 heroic grails, and 120 aether stones. So you actually are able to get these rewards twice a month because that's how many times they put the missions up. And don't worry about the missions, they're really easy. They're basically just giveaways. You will be able to get them just from doing daily tasks that you normally do anyway. So it's not a big deal. And in total, that's going to come up to 10 orbs. So it is actually less orbs that you get compared to buying orbs in the shop if you get the FEH Pass. But you are getting all these other goodies, like in terms of divine codes, being able to just get 240 divine codes for free a month is a pretty crazy amount. If we go over to Mjolnir's Strike, you'll actually notice that if I were to be in tier 20, I would only be getting 80 divine codes per season on this, which is about once a week. So 4 weeks to a month, 4 times 80, that's about 320. So being able to get 240 divine codes is like just adding 3 extra weeks to the month for you in terms of divine code payout. Of course, they're going to be putting divine codes in all the other game modes as well, like Aether Raids and also Arena. So that's going to stack up more for free-to-play players on how many divine codes you can actually get. But the amount you get from the FEH Pass is a pretty big amount, and it could be a deal maker, but we're just going to keep talking about the rest of the stuff first before I give a final verdict. We get Divine Dew. I don't really care about Divine Dew. I mean, look how many look how many refinement stones I have that I could just convert into Dew if I needed them. I really don't use the Dew that often, so it's not too big a deal. As for heroic grails, I do use those, and I like getting plus 10s from the grail shop. So let's head over to the grail shop, and currently I have 385. Being able to get 100 heroic grails per month is a pretty good deal, actually. I don't think that's too bad. If we head over to Aether Raids, of course, you're able to get, well, from my tier scoring, I would get 44 heroic grails from this. And then for the rank rewards, I would get another 30. So it does add up a little bit more than what you get from the FEH Pass. But the FEH Pass is a free 100 heroic grails anyway per month. So that might add up. And if that's important to you, it could be a deal maker. But that's pretty much it for the rewards. I mean, Aether Stones aren't really important at all. No one really cares about those. I guess if you just started playing the game, then it would be a little bit of a boost, but if you've been playing for a while, Aether Stones are not even a big deal. Okay, so another thing you get from the FEH Pass is the ability to purchase the past Resplendent heroes. So we go over here, and Lyn would be purchasable for me if I hadn't gotten the FEH Pass before she went away. And I believe the price per hero is $4.99. So it's about half the price of the FEH Pass just to get one hero. And of course, if you get the FEH Pass for 10 bucks, you are getting as many as 3 heroes actually if you get it at the right time. So it's not really worth it at all to buy the heroes separately, but In retrospect, if you only want certain heroes, then I guess it is a good deal. Because if we go over here, these are the current Resplendent heroes that we know about so far. Ike hasn't released yet. He's coming in the next season. But we get Resplendent Lyn. I haven't really done much with her because she's not easy to get merges on. She is 5-star locked. But when it comes to Cordelia, actually, I did get her to +10 because she's pretty easy to merge to max. And she's not too bad, actually. After she gets the stat bonuses from being a Resplendent hero, she does jump to a 167 BST, which is pretty nice. And then the Dragon Flowers help her out a bit more. I haven't really gone too crazy on skill inheritance on her just yet, but she is really awesome and I enjoy using her. Also, the new artwork for her is pretty rad as well. I'm a big fan of the new art as opposed to the old one. So, pretty good stuff. But you all know, I am the biggest Ike fan in Fire Emblem. And this guy, next season, I am so ready to get this guy to +10. And he's also going to get the +10 BST, so he's going to be amazing after that, and I'm definitely going to do some showcases with this guy. Those of you who've been with the channel for a long time, you guys already know Ike is the man, and he's my favorite, so yeah, I guess we could say that getting the FEH Pass just for your favorite heroes is worth it, if that's the only ones you want to get, because getting the FEH Pass every month, I think, is not worth it. It's going to add up to a lot of money, and really, like, units like Lyn, even though she does get the Resplendent buffs, she's not going to be useful to a lot of players since she's not easy to get to +10. And honestly, she's been pretty power crept by now. She's just an infantry sword unit, and there are so many crazy sword units in the game that outclass her. So unless Lyn is one of your favorite heroes, I don't think it's worth getting her Resplendent version. But in the case of Cordelia, I think it could be worth it to a lot of players. She is an easy +10 merge project, so not bad there. Ike, of course, is just in the same boat as Lyn, where he's another infantry sword and he is 5-star locked. But in my case, I do have a lot of merges on my Ike, so it will be worth it for me personally. So when it comes to the Resplendent heroes, I would say just go with your favorites. Don't try to get all of them. And if you miss, the one bad thing that I hate about the Resplendent heroes is that you're not allowed to purchase them unless you have the FEH Pass already, which is the dumbest thing in the world. That means you basically have to pay 10 bucks just to get the FEH Pass, and then another 5 to get the hero if you miss them. So that's not worth it at all. That's 15 bucks. So I would say if you want a hero that's coming out and you know in advance you're going to use them, then maybe that's when you would want to get the FEH Pass, because it's just going to be too much money in the long run and it's not going to be worth it. So another bonus that we get from the FEH Pass is the ability to use 3 summoner supports. I have my supports on Altina, Brave Ike, and Fa, and that's because these are the units that I use in Aether raids. So that's pretty much where I'm going to want the stat bonuses to help me out a bit. I use Ike in Light Season, and this Brave Ike is pretty much the king of Aether raids. He's one of the best bait units in the entire game. He can dismantle entire teams by himself with the proper support. So he's a pretty good unit to give your summoner support to if you need help in Aether raids. And for the Astra season, I use this Fa here. She's not quite as good as Ike, but she's still pretty good and she gets the job done. So having the extra stat bonuses from summoner support does help her out a bit. Now, is this good enough to get the FEH Pass? I would actually have to say no, it's not. It's really just for convenience sake and to make things a lot easier on you. You don't have to switch back and forth between your summoner support at each season. If you wanted to, of course, you could be free to play and just go ahead and do that. Like, let's say I have support on Ike for the Light Season, and right as Light Season is about to end, I just switch back my summoner support to Fa and then level her back up to S rank support. So you don't really need this. It is convenient, but it's not really a game changer and it's not a big deal, so I wouldn't worry too much about this. Now, the next thing that we get from being in the FEH Pass is actually the replay feature. Now, this is actually probably my favorite feature in the FEH Pass, and let's actually go ahead and use the replay feature. So you're able to replay as many times based on the amount of stamina that you have left. So I can't play any more than 8 times since I don't have enough stamina to do so. But then you just go ahead and select how many times you want to replay, and then you begin auto start, and the game is just going to play for itself for you. Really helpful, especially when modes like Tempest Trials and Forging Bonds are around, where you don't really want to play the game yourself. You just want to put the game on autoplay and let it do all your grinding for you. And once you're done, like let's say maybe you set the replay to too many times and you don't want to keep using it, all you got to do is click on cancel auto battle, and as soon as the fight is over, it's just going to take you right back to the screen and it's going to stop replaying. So the replay option is actually my favorite thing about the FEH Pass, and the main thing that I've been using it for is to play Forging Bonds and use it to grind up hero merit on my characters so I can get some more feathers. It is very useful for that, but again, I wouldn't really say this is enough to get the FEH Pass, because it's like, it's all just quality of life stuff that you could do by yourself if you don't really feel like paying the money. You just gotta take a couple of extra seconds to click the buttons, so it's not like the biggest deal, but it is nice and convenient. And the final thing that we get out of the FEH Pass is the ability to replay a turn. It's just like the divine pulses you get in Fire Emblem Three Houses. So let's actually go ahead and play a fight, and I'll show off how that works. Okay, so I'm just going to put Alm over here. He's going to get destroyed by this legendary leaf, but that's not a big deal. We're just going to use it to show... Oh, okay, Micaiah died too. But not a big deal. We can just restart the last turn with our unlimited divine pulses that they give us with this feature. So it's pretty useful for that, I guess. But again, it's not like something that's going to be a deal changer if you don't really spend money and you're just trying to be free to play at the game. It's just quality of life stuff, really. It's nothing too crazy that's going to give you an unfair advantage or give you any kind of advantage, actually. It's just to stop you from being lazy, I guess. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and use my flags there. I should talk about this Hero Rises event at some point, but we're not gonna talk about that right now. So yeah, those are the features that you get from the FEH Pass, and my thoughts on all of them are that really the only thing that's important is the Resplendent heroes, and you should only consider getting the FEH Pass when they're giving out a Resplendent hero that you plan to use and you actually enjoy. So for me, Cordelia, I'm definitely going to use her a lot now that she's plus 10, and next season I'm going to be able to get Ike at plus 10. So for me, it was a good idea to get the FEH Pass at this time. And maybe for you, you don't use any of these characters, so you don't want to get the FEH Pass right now. But maybe in the future, your favorite character does end up getting a Resplendent variant, and I would say that's when you want to get the FEH Pass. And maybe if they gave out a unit that you missed that you still want to get, maybe then you might want to get them in the Resplendent Heroes version of the shop. But it's $4.99, and I don't think that's worth it. So my overall impressions on the FEH Pass are that it is a waste of money to get it every month, but it could be worth it to get it once or twice if you want to get select heroes. And as far as all the other things are concerned, all the other bonuses you get, they are very nice for quality of life stuff, but they're not anything that you can't really do on your own if you don't have the FEH Pass. It's just going to take a little bit more time and effort on your part. So it's just a time saver, really. If you are free to play at the game and you plan to stay that way, I would just completely ignore the FEH Pass. It's not a big deal, and you're not really missing out on anything by not having it. So that's going to wrap up the video, guys. I hope this gave you a bit of insight on whether or not you want to get the FEH Pass, which I would say don't do it at all, and definitely don't do it every month. Just the only time you might want to do it is if your favorite hero gets the Resplendent treatment. But other than that, stay away. Do not get the FEH Pass. It's not worth it. And that's all I have to say about that. So that's it for today, guys. This is your boy Tacho signing out, and I will see you guys again in the next one.